So individuals who have built their professionalism, their professional skills from Africa and taking it across the world. I consider myself built in Africa. Everything I am today, I have not picked it up arriving here. I have that before I got here. So I am built in Africa, of the experiences, of the challenges, of the learnings that I've gone through.
You're in the right place. Welcome to the Built in Africa podcast, where we connect trailblazers of the African diaspora through the unifying language of tech. On this episode, we connect with Kwabena Boadu, Senior Full Stack Engineer at the Weather Network. Let's get into it. When Kwabena relocated from Ghana to Canada, one of his first major projects was building Storm Center, a cross-platform application that provides information about active storm events in Canada. Listen as he shares some of the challenges him and the team faced building the cross-platform product.
It's the first cross-platform product the company has built. Cross-platform in the sense that typically you'd have the iOS team or the Android team building the Android app and the iOS. So if, for example, for this feature that was going to work, they were going to build, they needed the product to run on desktop because they have customers on desktop, on mobile web, on Android, and on iOS. To go about this, you had a decision to make. Have every one of those teams build the product individually. So iOS will build that product, Android would build that product, web would build that product, and web mobile would build that product. The challenge with that is now if requirements change, every one of them has to build again. So It's not very easy to scale because depending on the roadmaps of these individual teams, then it's harder to get out. So it was decided that, we build this app as a standalone application and then have just minimal implementation to have them running on Android, iOS, web desktop, and web mobile.
Often people talk about having empathy for users, but what about your colleagues? Listen as Kwabena shares the importance of empathy in the software development process as it relates to working with other engineers.
No good work is accomplished in isolation. You don't work alone to build anything great. So for example, in this case, there were lots of people involved in this project and lots of different ideas. I think for us internally, one of the goals or the mottos is always always assume positive intent, that regardless how a message comes across or how someone puts something, always assume positive intent. The understanding that, in everyone's mind, the goal is to get the project moving forward in the right direction and get things done. Sometimes it might not come across in the best way, but when you assume positive intent, it's easy to relate with people. And then, in that light also, you'd find that you're working with a team where some people are more knowledgeable in one area than in another. So again, you need to exercise some level of patience with your teammates and explain when, you have a better understanding of some things than others. Because in the end, it's all about not just being professional and showing you can do the work, but showing that, we are happy to work with you, which is all very important. I think in my previous role when I was leaving, some of the feedback that some people gave was that beyond just doing the work, I was a very good teammate because of the way I carried myself and the way I responded to things, and I showed people how to act in certain situations without even ever speaking a word about it. So yes, these three things are very important because when all is said and done, you want people to feel when they are leaving their homes every morning to come to work with you, to have a sense that, I like what I'm doing. And it's not because of necessarily the work that I'm doing, but the people that I'm doing it with. So yes, that is very important. I can't overstate empathy enough. Having a roots and bounds of it makes you a very good team player, a very good teammate. And that translates into the work because people have to be motivated. The people building the product have to be motivated. They have to feel appreciated. And then they will build a great product which will reflect for your customers. Yeah.
Kwabena has over 10 years of experience as a software engineer, working across various companies and sectors. To name a few, he was an entrepreneur in training at Mess Africa and a senior software engineer at Indela. Based on his resume alone, he's got a lot of wisdom to offer. Listen as he shares why technical skills, communication, and professionalism are the key attributes to being a successful developer in Africa.
Practice how to solve problems and think on your feet. And for any technology that you're using, try to understand the whys things are happening, because now you have lots of people who can build projects and they make some decisions and they don't necessarily know why those decisions are made. It's just, okay, yeah, this is how it's done and that's it. But learning to build stable products with maintainable code bases is very important. So how to structure applications, how to design them for scale, how to design them to be maintainable is all very important. So this is basically on technical side. And generally I think on the technical side it's easier because there are 1,001 tutorials online now that if you're really interested, you can learn from. Anything that you're missing up on, you can catch up on very easily and very quickly. I've joined teams where I wasn't using the technologies we were using before. I just picked up on them, let's say a month after joining, and worked quite excellently. The bigger part is really on the personal and professional skills side. So communicating, especially when I was in Ghana, I worked remotely. I mean, working remotely means that I'm basically waking up, sitting home, and working with a team, on the other side of the continent. And the only time you see people is basically when you jump on video calls, and that doesn't happen too often in a day. So how do you keep your team members informed on what is happening with you? So you have to communicate. Communicating is very important. Too often you have people, he's assigned a task and they don't follow up to ask questions when they are stuck. They don't reach out to other people because they want to figure out everything by themselves. Those things don't help. It makes sense to communicate as quickly and as frequently as possible. So you get assigned. So for example, when I joined my team initially, I was assigned a task and I'm looking at it and I couldn't make heads or tails of it. So after a while, I just went to ask questions to someone who had joined about 2 months earlier than I. And he also couldn't figure it out. And then he realized that, okay, this is not a good time for me to be working on this because there's too much business context around the ticket that I've been assigned that even he doesn't understand. And because I did that less than 2 hours after I was given the ticket, it was very easy for them to transfer it to someone else and move it to a different thing. They appreciate these kind of things because you get work moving faster. Instead of waiting 2 days and then it's not that even you communicated. Someone comes to ask, okay, what are you working on? Or what have you been doing? Then you're there, you don't have any good answer, you're trying to figure it out. People don't appreciate it. So communicate early, communicate frequently. And then, high levels of professionalism and commitment. So you always try to be on calls on time, always with stable internet, because when people are halfway across the world, there are already all these ideas about, okay, I've never heard about Ghana before. This was my case. The CTO had never heard about Ghana before. He had no idea where Ghana was, what Ghana is, that we even had internet. Over time, okay, through me, he's learned more about Ghana than he knew before. It's very easy to say that, okay, this person is being racist. It's necessarily not the case. He just doesn't know. And he doesn't know what he doesn't know. So you shouldn't add up to the situation by making up all kinds of excuses. Okay, we need you to work. Lots of people tend to make excuses. Oh, my internet is bad, which is why I'm unable to join the call today. Half the time, I mean, sometimes it's really not the case. He just didn't join on time and he made an excuse. Always be on the call
Yeah.
on time. Anytime someone reaches out to you for help and you are able to, please do help. Anytime someone helps, always appreciate the fact that they took time to help, publicly acknowledge them. You don't just necessarily, by doing that, you increase your chances of them helping you the next time. And they feel appreciated, and suddenly you can bond with them really well. And always, I mean, anytime you're given a task, give it your very best and go the extra mile. So, like for me, in my case, I remember when I joined my previous company, there were a set of tasks that not everyone was particularly enthused about working on them. I was assigned to one of those tasks. I went in, I did everything. I mean, I gave everything. But people came and they felt, okay, maybe, am I okay working on this? Or is it that, okay, maybe I'm aggrieved? And I'm like, work is work. Anything that gets the team moving forward and work being delivered, I'm happy to do it. It's just the way I look at things. So when you do these little things, these little acts of professionalism, showing up on time, being online always, I mean, responding when someone pings you with a message, appreciating others, being helpful to others, people get to build a connection with you. They like you. They like being around you, having you around.
Yeah.
And then your work shines through. But regardless of how great of a developer you are, if your communication and professionalism skills are not good enough, you would always fall short, because the technical skills are the easiest to learn.
And that's it for this episode. If you haven't already, check out the full article on our website, builtinafrica.io, found in the description. And while you're there, subscribe to our newsletter so we may keep you up to date with the latest. But until then, keep building.